Alright, welcome back to the shop, guys. As I stated in the last video, time to rebuild the forge. We've had this now for about a year. Did great. Fortunately now it's starting to fall apart. And I will explain what's wrong with this, the mistakes I made, and why I'm changing everything for this new forge. Okay, so here's some very basic plans I have as of right now. I want to keep my height from the original one to this, so we're about 4 feet to the bottom part, flat part of the inside of the forge. There's a nice working height. You don't have to bend down to see it or anything. It should be good. That's what I've had all my forges at. That's what I like it at. I'm going to try to keep it that way. The overall forge box enclosure is going to be 12 by 18. The fire brick I bought, okay, you can see it. Just got them off Amazon. I'll try to put a link in all the videos for this of the stuff that I bought off of Amazon for this build. 9 by 4.5 by 2.5. So we're going to have 2 of those bricks on each side for the side walls. The top and the bottom are going to be the ceramic wool and then Castellite 30. So I think the ceramic that I got is 2-inch thick. Obviously it's a little bit, once you unroll it, it's not going to be exactly 2 inches. If not, I can always rip apart the last one and take out any extras I need out of that, because there's no reason for that to be bad. So I'm going to have a 7-inch opening. My last forge had an 8. I never really needed anything that big. So I went a little bit smaller, and this way the ceramic wool I got is 12 inches wide by 2 feet, 3 feet. I'm not sure what I got. So that way I don't have to worry about making a cut and having a thin piece then to a normal piece, or trying to piecemeal it together. So you all one sheet, cast the light on top of that, call it a day, let it cure, be good. We're making a blower, or ribbon burner. Blowers, I don't have to make that, I bought that. Also, we got the blower off of Amazon. I'll try to add the link to that. This I'll probably start making later on. I want to get the basic assembly going. That way, when we do the base, I can cast the base and cast the roof, which that might have to wait till I get the blower figured out. I have some ideas on how I'm going to do that. I've watched a couple videos from other makers on how they make theirs. So I think I have an idea of how I want to approach that. So that's it. Let's see how this works out. I don't see us having too many issues, but that's the plan, and now it's time, as I'm going to try to do from now on. Going to get everything cut, not going to record it. Who wants to watch metal being cut? I don't want to watch it. I work on something else while everything's cutting. So I'm going to start with the base. I don't know how wide I'm going to make the base yet. I'm probably going to go a little bit wider on the bottom just for stability support. Might go 2 feet on the bottom. I'm not really sure. I don't really need to go that big, because forge itself is 12 inches wide. Once I put the perimeter around, it'll probably be 18, maybe 20 inches. But we'll see how it all comes out and how I like it. And I'm just going to tack everything together for now, see if I like it, go from there. So a couple things on the next forge that I want to add to that I learned with this one. My workspace up front, I want to keep that, maybe even come out a little bit more. The hammer holder and then my tong holder on the other side, I want to keep those, but I'm probably going to bring them lower down. Having them right here, when the fire bricks were here to keep all the heat in, was redirecting all the heat towards the hammers. That can mess with tempering, hardness, and all that, so I want to stay away from that. The tong height, that was fine, but if I'm going to lower this, I might as well lower the tong side as well. Also, one of the other things I want to add for now that all the Damascus that I'm doing and using the long handhold that I'm welding to the billet, there's times where you'll put it in and it doesn't want to sit right. So I want to make an adjustable slide support. I'm going to weld 2 tubes underneath here, 2 solid bars in, and when I need it, just pull it out. Have an adjustable here as well, and I don't have to worry about, see if I have a piece laying around. We'll just use this as an example. Set of tongs I'm working on. You know, before, obviously I'd have a little bit more than that, but with this forge, that was my hot spot. I needed everything right there, so it would heat up nice. And this is what would happen. So now if I have that support come out here, adjust it, boom. I can walk away, work on something else while that's heating up, and go from there. So that's one of the things I want to change on top of the whole forge. I'll probably keep a shelf in the front. Just, you never know what you might need to have just laying around. Spot for my magnet, spot for my twisting tool, my brush, my borax. I'm not going to use this original setup. I am going to cut this one up after. There's still a lot of good angle on here. The wheels are still good. I have all new material that I've just had on hand, so I'm going to use that for now. So I'm starting clean. It's not hacking something apart to hack something else together. Hopefully this will be my last forge for a while. So that's where we're at. Also, going to go thicker on the front because as you saw in the previous video, this is just popping out like nothing. I might reinforce the openings a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to be that much needed. And I kind of want to make an angle setup in the front so that when I have my fire brick here, I'm not accidentally pulling something out. Fire brick falls, hits the ground, cracks, I got to go buy more fire brick. So I'm thinking, I've seen them, everyone does them, a piece of angle and a piece of angle. This rests right inside, and that way it can't fall out. You can easily move it side to side like when you need it. And it shouldn't fall out and break. The original burners I ended up buying have been great. I've had no complaints. I ended up having to change this, well, this wasn't original, I added this in afterwards. This just came straight up to here. Over time, I wish I did this ahead of time to protect the hoses more. No issues at all, really. And just fortunately now with me switching to a ribbon burner, this is the reason why I'm stepping away from here. I'm going to get an even heat with the ribbon burners compared to this. If I went thicker on the skin of the metal for the forge and better brick, I probably wouldn't be rebuilding this right now. It'd still be working, I wouldn't be worried about it, and production would be continuing as normal. But unfortunately, I took the cheaper route at the time. I just used what I had for material, and now, like always, I'm paying the consequences for that. Same thing with the floor. I used brick. They've held up pretty good. The flux is eating away at them, but we all know that's going to happen with using flux. And as you can see, there's just complete chunks of what was left of the burner just collapsing, falling in on itself. So the new plan for the new forge, we're going to get away from these bricks, use actual bricks and casting, hoping that everything should hold heat better. So the heads of the burners have been completely exposed, and from hitting the high temps and then cooling and high temps and cooling and high temps, the steel over time just starts to deteriorate, crack, and fall apart. And that's what you can see here. So now when I turn it on, the forge takes longer to heat up. I'm constantly fighting to get a nice, good, clean burn. It's all over the place, and now it's even more. The forge isn't heating up evenly. I'm getting 2 massive hot spots, a couple inches in, and then the middle stays, relatively hot, but not where I need it, where I'm constantly having to move my piece of metal, whatever I'm working on, and cycle it almost to try to keep a nice even heat on everything. So as you can see, the outside is completely falling apart now. The bricks on the ceiling have cracked and are falling. Unfortunately, that's due to the fact of I just went and picked up at my local masonry supply normal fire bricks. Not, didn't think anything into looking how much they are rated for, and now I'm paying for that now.